I follow a lot of different travel groups online, and I see a lot of people that are unhappy after having gone on some trips, some long trips, sometimes what should be a trip of a lifetime. So I'm going to talk to you today about one of the biggest mistakes I see people make in their travels and how to avoid that mistake and make sure you have a better time on your next trip. Okay, now in these groups, a lot of times it's people from the United States, sometimes it's people that come from other countries to the United States, and they're talking about not having a good experience on whatever trip they went on. And it's because they're concentrating on the wrong thing. And I see this time after time in post after post where these people are concentrating on what they missed. Let me tell you something, and understand this and accept it. You are not going to get to do everything, no matter where you go. You're going to run into days where things are closed. You're going to run into weather issues that prevent you from doing something. And I have seen people have their whole trip ruined, and not just a few people, a lot of people that have had their whole trip ruined because they didn't get to do one or two things that they had planned out of however many things on this trip. Unless you're a bad version of the Griswolds and you go across the country and you get to an amusement park that's closed, you should not have this experience. You have to treat these travels as an adventure. You have to accept that things are going to go wrong when you're traveling. And you have to learn to have fun from the things that do go wrong. And I can tell you from personal experience, on the long trips I have been on, there are things we got to that were closed or weren't as great as we thought they were going to be, or whatever, that were disappointments. And those bad things almost always led to something better. We would find something better and more enjoyable close by, or we would talk to a local that would point us to something that was even better than what we had anticipated. So to think that these people have their entire vacation or month-long trip or 3-month-long trip ruined because they missed one or two things, it's just insane. I don't know what kind of expectations these people have. When you're out on the road and you're traveling and you're adventuring, you can have a basic outline of what you think you want to go to and stops that you want to make. But it's never, ever, ever going to work out that way. There are always going to be interruptions. It may be an issue with the automobile. It may be weather related. You may have to change course sometimes due to weather. There are all types of things if you're traveling long distances that you're going to have to deal with. And you're going to have a good attitude in order to be able to pull this off. Because if you don't, not only are you going to be miserable, you're going to make anyone that you are with equally miserable. And if you're taking the time and spending your hard-earned money to do this stuff, you don't want to be miserable. So take an adventurous attitude. If you've never been on one of these trips before, take an adventurous attitude. Go out, deal with what's there, solve what problems come up, change whatever plan you have to go around and keep it going. And, you know, most of us, at least my age, we all love National Lampoon's Vacation, but we don't want to live it. So don't. Have realistic expectations. Having done long trips for the last 3 years now, I can tell you if I left Chicago or wherever and went to California and the amusement park was closed, I would laugh and go on. And the difference is I would have had one heck of a good time between point A and point B, seeing what I could see and learning what I could learn and meeting the people along the way on that adventure. And if the amusement park was closed for repairs or closed down permanently, it really wouldn't be any big deal because I would just map a trip back home And again, I would find new things to see and new adventures to have and new people to meet. Don't be a Griswold. I don't know anyone who's ever gone on a trip, certainly more than a week, that didn't have something bad happen. And it depends on your definition of bad, but maybe I should say that didn't have something go wrong. Something is going to go wrong. Something is going to be wrong at the places you go to. Too crowded, too busy, raining, too much sun. And I guarantee you, near any big tourist attraction, there are at least 3 or 4 other things that you can find to do that you will probably enjoy much, much more, and for much less money. Don't be a Griswold. Holiday Road. There are people nearby that can see me over here with a camera, dancing around, singing badly the theme to National Lampoon's Vacation, Holiday Road, and you have to wonder what those people are thinking as they see me and possibly hear me doing this. But hey, on the upside, it will probably give them a story to tell about their trip out here. So how about you guys and gals? Have you had any trip ruining experiences, or have you just had things go wrong on your trips and your summer vacations that you had to let roll off your back and go find something else to do? Let me know down in the comments below. Let's get a little conversation going and compare notes. This channel does have a new Facebook page. The reason I put this up is so I could communicate a little better and a little faster and throw some ideals and some news and some tidbits out there that sometimes aren't worth spending hours making a video for and is going to be outdated by 2 or 3 days by the time it gets up. So if you're a subscriber to this channel, follow the link down in the description, bounce over to that Facebook page, click the follow button on it. That way you'll be notified different things that we throw up there that should help you in your plans and your future travels. So what I want to leave you with is this. Don't be a Griswold. See you again soon.